YouTube, what's up? Jay Stanza here with the Stanza Sports Podcast. We got a good one for y'all. I want to talk about the end of an era. Yes, it is officially an end of an era in football. We're in a new day and age, and these coaches, it's about time. It's about time. I have to say, it's about time that these coaches left. Nick Saban, Pete Carroll, and Bill Belichick all stepping away from the game, and I can't blame them. I really can't blame them. We're in an era that these guys and their coaching style, their personality won't fit in this era of football. I'm sorry. Their coaching style, it just won't translate to wins. It won't. So let me start with Nick Saban. The probably the greatest college football coach ever, no doubt about it. The greatest college football coach in Alabama history. Bear Bryant, take a seat, not even touching anywhere near Nick Saban. Arguably the greatest coach of all time. Cool. These three are arguably the greatest coaches of all time. No doubt about it. So we start with Nick Saban. Let's go to the accolades. 7 national titles, 6 titles since '09, 9 SEC championships, 177 24 overall record at Bama, 19 straight bowl appearances. That's crazy. That's outstanding. I don't think another coach will ever touch Nick Saban in terms of accolades. What is Nick Saban's biggest downfall? The NIL. The NIL ended Nick Saban's run at Alabama. It ended it. The NIL changed the landscape of college football. Why? Recruiting. College football is all about recruiting. You get the best recruits, your team is going to be pretty much unstoppable. And you put a good enough coach with a bunch of 5-star recruits, and you're going to have a championship team, period. No doubt about it. The problem is the NIL changed the game. Why? Because now Nick Saban couldn't control these 5-star recruits. Every year, he got every single 5-star recruit, top 5 recruiting classes. He's still getting great recruiting classes, but the difference is these kids are getting paid now. They're no longer convinced by the name of your school, the University of Alabama. Back in the day before NIL, just the name University of Alabama, you were going to get that recruit because that recruit had the mindset of, I want to go pro. If you want to go pro, go to Alabama, go to Georgia, go to LSU. In this era, these kids are motivated by money. They can get paid millions before they even go to the NFL. You no longer can control these kids' brains with the brand of the school, the name of the school. Nick Saban had no choice but to step down because he knew he could not compete in this era of college football. He could no longer coach at the highest level of college football because he could not get the players that he needed. He wasn't getting the same players. He wasn't getting the Julio Jones, the Derrick Henrys, the Mark Ingrams, the Drake Kirkpatricks, the Mark Barons. Those defenses, all those guys are NFL players. Do you know how many NFL players Nick Saban had on his roster? Seriously, every year, every year. The NIL allowed college football to catch up to Alabama. The transfer portal allowed college football to catch up to Nick Saban. Why? Because kids no longer want to sit behind all these 5-stars. They want to get playing time and they want to get a bag. And they want to go where they can shine now. Now you see all these 5-stars, 4-stars going to Oregon. The Pac-12 had an amazing season this year. No SEC teams in the national championship. Georgia wasn't the same this year. I honestly believe Michigan, the only reason why they really dominated this year is because they had the same core players that stayed and been through a bunch of trials and tribulations. Dealing with Georgia, dealing with Ohio State. Michigan pretty much had the same team. But now things are different. Kids are scattered all over the country. That's why I like the NIL. I like the transfer portal, because no longer can one team get all the best players. No longer. But once again, Nick Saban is definitely one of the best coaches of all time. I just think that his coaching style, the way he does things won't fit in this era. Kids no longer can tolerate a Nick Saban type of coach. They want a different type of coach. They want the fun coach. They want the Lincoln Riley coaches. They want the spread offense coaches. Nick Saban is a grit and grind coach. No BS coach. These kids get paid way too much money to tolerate that kind of coaching. Let's go to Pete Carroll in the NFL. Pete Carroll is one of the greatest coaches of all time in college and pro. He's won a championship in both levels. I mean, after a while, it's just time to hang it up. I think he's going to stay close to the organization, but that rah-rah play style, you ain't winning no games. You need the players. He no longer had the Legion of Boom. This game is all about players, man. There's no Richard Shermans on Pete Carroll's team. No Brandon Browners. No Earl Thomases. No Cam Chancellors. No Marshawn Lynch. Russell Wilson playing like dirt. But when Russell Wilson was on his team, he was balling. You got DK Metcalf, you got Geno Smith, but you don't have that same team anymore. And like I said, the players nowadays, especially in the NFL, they just don't have that rah-rah, that let's win. They don't have it. Everything's money now. Everything's status now. Everything's clout now. Pete Carroll's one of those rah-rah coaches. Look at his days at USC. These guys have the top tier players. And no longer do they have these players, and they can't win at the highest level. Let's go to Belichick. Thank God. Because, when Saban stepped down, I immediately asked myself, and when Pete Carroll, I asked myself, when is Belichick going to step down? When is Belichick going to wrap it up? Let's be honest. Tom Brady carried this team. Tom Brady put this team over the hump on his back, on his shoulder, and it's been proven. The amount of greatness that Tom Brady had to produce on the field to carry these Patriots teams, it's unspeakable. The disrespect Tom Brady got from the organization, it came at to bite him in the butt, bite him in the ass. Why? Belichick thinks he can coach anybody to a championship. Like he always says, I can take kids from Foxborough High School and turn them into champions. The disrespect, man. The disrespect on Tom Brady. Just imagine all the players that they had in those teams, those defensive teams, those Patriots defenses back in the day, outstanding. Tom Brady, outstanding. I can honestly say the best when Tom Brady actually got a real weapon, when he had Randy Moss, you saw what he could do. The rest of his, I'm not saying that his other receivers are trash, but Tom Brady makes them look better than they are. No lie. Tom Brady carried those teams. Tom Brady was the leader. Tom Brady was the winner. Tom Brady was on the field keeping the glue together for the team. Belichick's coaching style is outdated. It's over. Oh, I can coach anybody and make him a champion. No, because Mac Jones looks terrible. Belichick's the type of coach to put a defensive coordinator and put him as an offensive coordinator. Everybody knows Matt Patricia is a defensive guy. Why is he calling offensive plays? Because Belichick thinks he knows everything. He's cocky. He thinks that no matter what the circumstance, it doesn't matter. Any player, I can take any player and turn him into a superstar. I can win with anything. I can get my son to play slot receiver. He's outdated, man. This game is about the players, and it's always been about the players. Don't get me wrong. Bill Belichick is one of the greatest coaches of all time, arguably the best coach. You could argue all three of these guys can be the GOAT of coaching, especially Saban and Belichick. But in this era, they can't win. They can't do it. And I honestly believe Bill Belichick wanted to keep coaching. The organization said, we don't want you to go out like this. We don't want your legacy to look like this because we look like trash. We look like straight trash, Bill. We got to let you go. Let's get Gerard Mayo in here to clean this shit up. Someone that can relate to the new generation. Someone that can possibly go draft a wide receiver in the first round and not be a bust. Someone that can actually make Mac Jones look decent. Jerron Mayo's probably going to draft or sign a hire a real offensive coordinator, not my defensive coordinator. But anyway, that's just my opinion, man. Like I said, 3 of the greatest coaches of all time. This era of coaching, you'll never see coaches like this again. I don't think we'll ever have coaches that last this long in the game. You know, it's going to be a high turnover rate in football now. It's a win now type of situation in football, and the players have all the control, man. They're getting paid so much money. It's all about the players, man. And it's evident today. The players have all the leverage. Millionaires in college, millionaires in the NFL. You got to be able to adapt to these new age players. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to know what y'all think. If I'm completely wrong, let me know, man. If you agree with me, let me know. Until next time, Stanza Podcast. Peace.